voice, the one and only Mrs. P.L. Travers, the creator of our beloved Mary.
Poppins.
Who else?
Mary Poppins. Never, ever just Mary.
It was indeed a great feat because it took him 20 years to get the rights. And actually, it was finally, and in the end, economic necessity that won him those rights. P.L. Travers had written and written, but the money was beginning to run out. She was going on to the end of her life. She was writing other books, but they weren't nearly so successful. And she had a house that she loved and that she wanted to keep. And I think that whilst it may sound unromantic, it's a very important point to make, because a woman alone with no husband and no family to help her, she needed to earn money in order to survive. And this film made it possible for her.
Well, here you are, at last. Oh, my dear gal, you can't imagine how excited I am to finally meet you.
Walt Disney had an abusive father and a violent father whom he loved very much. And P.L. Travers had an alcoholic father who was emotionally abusive, whom she loved very much. So they were both wounded children and carried those wounds with them for life, but they dealt with those wounds in very different ways. And one of the great pieces of kind of collective artistry about this movie, which has been such a joy to make, is the poster, because the poster is the two characters, but the shadows of the characters are Mary Poppins and Mickey Mouse. And there's something so truthful about that, because to me, the creation of those characters was of vital importance to the survival of those two people. And they kind of take the wounded child, the characters take the wounded child by the hand and slowly and gently try to draw them out into the light and say, you know, it's all right, the world is safe, really. You know, those characters made the world safe for the wounded children inside those two artists.
Constable's responsible. Now, how does that sound?
No. Responsible is not a word.
We made it up.
Well, unmake it up.
To me, the film does something very interesting with time. We call the part that is set in Australia that is to do with her childhood flashbacks, but I don't experience them as flashbacks at all. I experience the movie as parallel time. I mean, if you consider the fact that we carry everything with us all the time, our child, the baby, whoever we were and are, is with us all the time. Of course, it's the building blocks of our personality. It's all inside us at all times, but we focus on the present moment. Well, then the film takes two parts of time, and you travel along those parallel lines into this kind of strange temporal perspective that leads you towards a meeting point which gives you the feeling that you get sometimes when you smell something you haven't smelt for years and years, a sort of whoosh of emotion, because you're not going back to somewhere and then coming back to the present, or going forward to somewhere and coming back to the present. You're experiencing it at the same time, and suddenly it all comes together and you understand it. And if only we could do that with our own lives. It's just too difficult. We can't. That's why I think it works. That's why I think that the filmmaker, John Lee Hancock, and the screenwriter, Kelly Marcel, did something with the raw materials, the actors, that was remarkable.